Even though tissue making is considered relatively environmentally friendly, there are still many things to do when it comes to minimizing the environmental footprint. China, being one of the largest economies in the world, has made a lot of progress when it comes to sustainability. We had a talk with Dr. Chao Chen-lei, chairman of the China National Household Paper Industry Association and president of China Technical Association of Paper Industry, on how to address the environmental impact of the tissue industry in China.
What is the situation in China, and how does the China National Household Paper Industry Association to drive the environmental footprint forward?
The Chinese tissue industry currently is under low operation rate. Now it's just over 70% of the total capacity, both due to the market competition and also due to the government regulations for environmental issues. The environmental issue nowadays in China is highly on the agenda for all the parties, the regulators, the industries, and also the consumers. China National Household Paper Industry Association is also working very hard with the industry to drive the environmental footprint forward. First of all, most of the pulp used in China for tissue is imported. And the wood pulp is counted about 80% last year. The tissue paper makers in China now are focused on to buy the commercial pulp from the certificated suppliers. And also we encourage them to use more low brightness pulp, which is mean less bleaching fiber, and mainly nowadays for local pulp suppliers. And in the production area, we are strongly recommend the tissue makers to reducing energy consumption by upgrading their paper machineries. There are many suppliers, including Valmet, are now working closely with them. By average, the energy consumption during operation now is reduced by 1/3 for last few years.
How does the environmental regulation to impact our tissue industry?
The environmental regulation have strongly affect the China tissue industry. Most important one is a government regulation for issues the reduce the CO2 emission. So the government in all levels are very much focused in this area recently. The regulation on elimination of all the small-scale coal-burning boilers all over the country, which affect us very much. The next area impact us is the fiber. So the Chinese government issued a total elimination of solid waste import regulation by the end of next year. Actually, this policy have affected the China's paper industry and the world paper industry strongly for the last 2 years. By this regulation, for us, have only a minor effect, because the secondary fiber is only a small part of our fiber consumption in China, in the tissue area. Last is the environmental issue. China have harsh regulation on water, air, and solid waste management recently. This is strongly affect the domestic pulp producers, mainly those non-wood pulp makers. They have to use either ECF or TCF bleaching, which could reduce the AOX emission. This drives them to change it to a non or light bridge process. That is also the reason why the unbridged tissue is become popular in China.
Dr. Chao, in China, what are the consumers' sustainability demand on tissue?
Yes, actually nowadays the Chinese consumer are environment sensitive for their products to buy. They are considering buying the environment friendly product. For example, the consumer will select a product which was FSC certified pulp, made from certified pulp. Then also they prefer mostly the local unbleached or low brightness products for their daily tissue usage. I think they are much concerned on the environment.
That was Chao Chanlei on different drivers behind the tissue industry in China reducing its CO2 footprint. Our next speaker will show how investment in green technology is good for the environment and for your operation cost. Manfred Dobler will join us live from Zurich in a bit, but first, let us present Manfred like this.
Hi Andrea, what a surprise! What are you doing here?
This place is awesome. I thought Switzerland stands only for good watches, delicious chocolate and cheese.
Yes, you are right, but there is so much more than that. Just take a look around you and enjoy the Swiss landscape with its amazing forests, as well as the fresh and clean water. We have many companies which put their focus on energy and water resources for a sustainable future.
Are you sure? I've always associated Switzerland's economy to all the big and famous banks.
There is no reason to give up the profit goals while pursuing sustainable targets. Just ask the Swiss clean tech industry. They reduce their CO2 emissions and save water while still being very much competitive and successful players in the world.
As a typical Swiss guy, you should know. Action speaks louder than words. I expect you to prove what you just said.
Yes, no worries. Consumers around the globe want environmentally friendly products. That means that your stakeholders expect you as tissue manufacturer to take concrete steps towards sustainable processes.
Welcome to the program, Manfred, head of the paper industry department at the MAN Energy Solutions. You and Andrea the Capricorn, have you known each other for a long time?
Good evening, Lisa, and good morning to everybody. Yes, we know each other for a very, very long time, which also, you know, the Capricorn stands for reliability, sustainability, and the Capricorn is also, you know, used to adapt easily for a different environment. So we were using that as an introduction.
Oh, is that so? Now
yeah.
You have something else to tell us too, of course.
Yes, sustainability as a cost-saving driver is the goal actually that should drive all our actions. Let's talk about water and energy savings and a better cost efficiency. This is the time has come for a new way of thinking and a more holistic approach. And we keep your new sustainable product as simple as possible so that you can sleep well at night. And a good sleep comes from maintenance-free products. They must operate forever with the risk that you might even forget about them at all. If we discuss about a DCT 200 machine, those are equipped with 3 to 4 liquid ring pumps to serve the vacuum demand. Those pumps are consuming more than 20% of overall electrical energy. That means these pumps need up to 1,600 kilowatts. Just imagine how much you save by using MAN blowers, more than 50% of electrical energy. Our standard blower we are using for a DCT and NTT machine is one RT71, which absorbs around 800 kilowatts at full load on providing maximum vacuum. Let's focus again at the DCT machine. Still equipped with 3 to 4 liquid ring pumps, they need around 1,700 cubic meter water per day for sealing. To clean that water, you need cooling towers, you need pumps, you need anti-biological chemicals and a lot of auxiliaries. Just imagine how much you save if you could get rid of all of it. And on top, our blowers generating hot air at the exhaust. By using a heat exchanger, you gain more than 50% of absorbed electrical energy back. And last but not least, our blowers do not need any consumable parts. So no spares need to be replaced.
All those advantages are already available in our innovative dewatering solution.
Why is it like that? What's the difference between our blower technology and the well-known liquid ring pumps?
That will all be answered in detail next week. Please visit our dive-in sessions hosted by Diego next Monday, the 29th of June.
Interesting, Manfred. But it sounded like you had more than 50% energy savings, and then on top of that, your system is saving more than 50% by a heat exchanger. This seems to add up to more than 100%. How is that?
I just recognized you were listening to my presentation very, very carefully. Actually, it's true. Yes, it's a fact that it's more than 100%. But, you know, we are also recuperating the heat which is coming already from the DCT machine. That means, you know, for example, we are getting the 45 degrees centigrade in, and at the end of the exhaust, it's 30 to 35 degrees centigrade. So that additional potential is absorbed too and taken into consideration.
I see. We also have a question from the audience. Is your system equipped with a VSD2 in order to save that energy?
It's an interesting question. And to be honest, our system is equipped with an airflow adapted system. That means we do not need a variable speed drive in order to gain the 50% energy savings. But of course, you can add a variable speed drive to our system and gain even more savings on top of that. The differences between if you should use a fixed speed motor or a variable speed drive, those details and pros and cons will be answered next Monday.
I see. Well, thank you very much then, Manfred, and send our best to Andrea.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Well, even though most of our world's surface is covered by water, fresh water is still a scarcity. In our next spot, you will meet a group of people from the Essity Nokia mill and from Valmet in Finland, together presenting some amazing water-saving initiatives that they have successfully managed.
Water is a scarce natural resource, and its consumption is something that needs to be considered in all industries today. In Europe, manufacturing industries consume more than 25 billion cubic meters of fresh water per year, representing 10% of total water withdrawal. Pulp and paper industry represent about 15% of this. Finding alternatives to using fresh water was the objective of the SpotView project, which was performed between 2016 and 2020 by a consortium of European partners. Valmet Technologies and Essity Finland's Nokia tissue mill were two Finnish participants who joined forces to demonstrate how PM7 freshwater consumption could be optimized.
Valmet has utilized ultrafiltration technology for years at paper mills, and Essity had a need for this kind of technology.
Essity Nokia tissue mill dates back to 1865. We have a long tradition of high water consumption.
Essity is one of the world's largest suppliers of consumer tissue. Essity Finland's Nokia mill has over 200 employees, 2 paper machines, PM9 and PM7, and 6 operating converting lines. The prototype of Valmet ultrafilter has been at Essity Finland's Nokia tissue mill for test from September 2018. Essity provided paper process as demonstration site, and Valmet developed Valmet ultrafiltration tea process to produce high-quality water.
Valmet ultrafiltration system is based on Valmet ultrafilter CR technology. It's unique technology based on rotors, giving high turbulence inside the filter, giving a long lifetime and high capacities for the filter.
Valmet ultrafiltration tea process is designed to produce ultra-pure water from tissue mill whitewaters to reduce freshwater consumption. Processed water is ultrafiltrated and permeate filtrate is used as forming section high-pressure showers to replace fresh water.
Ultrafiltration filtrate, or as we call it, permeate, is very good quality water, free from solids, colloids, and even bacteria.
And therefore helps to maintain the performance and efficiency of the tissue machine. Using permeate instead of fresh water decreases the overall water consumption in the tissue-making process and creates savings in the energy used for heating the fresh water.
As water consumption goes hand in hand with energy consumption, we saw an opportunity to reduce cost.
A modern tissue machine consumes 4 to 15 cubic meters of water per ton of paper, depending on raw material.
The installed CR101030 filter at Nokia paper mill has reduced freshwater consumption by 1 to 3 cubic meters per produced paper ton.
The whole unit was factory built and tested before the delivery. Process can be remote controlled through the internet.
We have now proven the technology suitable in our process. We are using ultrafiltrated water permeate in our high-pressure shower waters in the paper making. It has turned out to be trouble-free.
Reached capacity level has been from 240 to 288 cubic meters per day.
Throughout the project, we have been able to improve the system and its efficiency.
And the project has been a great success story.
Welcome, Jenny Vaino, Quality and Environment Manager at Essity Nokia Mill.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Have you planned to use the system also on your other paper machine showers? And if you did, how much water could you save?
Yes, it's definitely an option. Also for our PM9, we'd be able to save about as much as on PM7, so up to 3 cubics per ton.
Okay. What about the operational costs of the ultrafiltration system? Have you looked at that?
Yeah, we've calculated 0.3 euros per cubic meter of permeate. That includes energy cost, washing chemicals, and the service.
All right. And aside from the actual water saving, what other effects have you seen with the ultrafiltration?
We've seen better runnability on PM7. The shower water is warmer than it used to be, and the process is more stable.
That sounds very good. We're happy that you could join us today, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Let us stay on this topic, saving resources, for yet a little while. We have with us here in the studio Johan Rågård and Danilo Marcos from Valmet. They encourage using hybrid tissue processes to save fiber in tissue production and will share with us what fiber reduction can really mean. Welcome, you guys. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Lisa. So, a question there. How to produce the best tissue paper with the best sustainable way there, or described in a different way, how to produce tissue quality with low energy consumption and low fiber usage. Multi-purpose tissue production with great flexibility, that's the hybrid technology. So quality, that means softness and water absorption. Fiber usage, that's roll bulk or roll weight that we will talk about there. And with the great dryness we will get with the hybrids, that will consume low energy consumption there. So Danilo, describe a little bit there about the fiber saving gains.
Good, Johan. So you, as a tissue producer, can benefit converting the tissue machine bulk gains from a hybrid into volume or length for toilet rolls. And volume can either be higher diameter, bigger diameter, or number of rolls. So here we will compare toilet rolls with the same diameter, as you can see, same paper specification, and we will check the weight in the scale. So first, the DCT roll, conventional machine, we can see it weighs, I read here in the scale, 114 grams. And if we switch to the hybrid machine toilet roll with the same specs, we will have around 87 grams only. That's 25% less weight due to the less fibers. So the amount of fibers, if you convert the same amount of fibers from the tissue machine, you get more rolls since they just weight less. Let's watch an animation now to look how much this represents in number of rolls. So here we analyze fiber efficiency. So the gray bar on the left represents a double width conventional tissue machine amount of rolls, and on the right, a green one is a hybrid machine with the same paper specs and characteristics. So you see this 20% more rolls, which is around 400,000 extra rolls, it can fill a big volume like a Olympic swimming pool in just 2 days of operation. And if we go to the desert and pile those converted rolls in the desert, and with the hybrid machine, we will be able to fill a completed volume of the Great Pyramid of Giza operating for 2 years. Instead, that a conventional DCT machine would require 3 years instead. So if we are interested in different ways and saving length, for instance, for your roll, how far this extra amount of rolls could reach? Johan will help us with that.
Yes, these extra rolls, if you stack those rolls that you gain from this hybrid technology, if you stack them on top of each other, you will reach all the way to the top of Mount Everest 5 times every day. And those extra rolls represent 30 tons per day, and that's equal to 420 trees every day. And it's quite amazing that these extra rolls that is produced from one hybrid machine will reach all the way around the world every week. And you have just seen how what you can do with this low fiber usage a hybrid machine can produce in different ways there, how much fiber saving it is.
So as a conclusion, and looking to the sustainability point of view in the fiber savings, a hybrid machine could produce 20% more rolls per day, and that will supply more than 1 million people per year per machine, considering an European average tissue consumption per capita. And if we look to the energy sustainability point of view, we also have a reduced carbon footprint per roll, since we were considering less fibers as well. It will result in less CO2 emissions. So I invite you to join us in the next session, so we will detail more how to be sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Johan and Danilo. This was quite fascinating. With that, we conclude our third theme of today about the environmental footprint. Now, what are your thoughts? Yet again, you have about a minute to write your comments and reflections in the chat. Go ahead. Welcome back, Ulf.
Thank you.
Now, do we maybe have some reflections to look at from the audience? Yes, we do. What if everyone applied best available technology?
Yes, I agree. It would be really interesting to see what would happen if we apply the best available technology in all our existing mills.
Yeah.
So I think it has a vital role to play in balancing economic environmental and social issues become sustainable.
Absolutely. Oh, it's positive with tough targets on the emissions, somebody says. Yeah.
Yeah, I could also agree to that. That means we need to think outside the box and step out our comfort zone to achieve those targets. So it's challenging us in a different way.
Another comment is that sourcing of energy is really vital.
Yes, we have seen here in several speeches that it differs a lot depending on the source and how you put it in the system, so to say.
Yeah, this can be a challenge, but also an option.
It's an opportunity also, but as you say, a challenge.
Less seems to be more. Yep.
Yeah, we saw that from Daniela and Johan, so we can agree.
Water is important. Many tissue mills are located in areas with scarce resources. Huh?
Yeah, that's also true. A lot of the tissue mills are located to the close, dense population centers, which also have a competition about the fresh water, so it's really important.
Yeah. Understanding sustainability involves understanding interrelationships.
Totally agree there also. The more you can see the relationships and adopt a holistic approach, you can understand also how we can become more sustainable. So yeah, that's really someone that caught it.
Okay. Do you have any additional thoughts of your own after listening to this session?
Yeah, I see business opportunities also in interacting between different companies, regions, societies, people, etc. So opportunities.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ulf.
Thank you.